All right. So welcome to Philadelphia Walks PTSD. I'm coming on here after not being on for a long time. Um, I do a one video each day, 365 days. Sometimes I privatize those videos. I've been a little bit busy, and also I had to get a new phone today because the phone that I had for about 3.5, 4 years, I guess really since the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I had a Motorola eMoto 6, I think. It finally crashed yesterday on 4th of July, so I had to get a new phone. Luckily, it was a trade-in deal. So basically, a new phone aside from taxes and like one other fee or something, like a setup fee or whatever. So, but in general, a phone that would have been $200 or 222 was a lot less, like 50 or 55. So I can live with it. Anyway, so here's the new phone, and I have a story to go along with the new phone, and that is a couple weird things. So the phone went down yesterday, and I had just live streamed that morning, and the morning of 4th of July, 2023. I walked all the way up to Whole Foods. I wanted to pick up a few things there. Then I kind of walked around the art museum, like the front of the art museum, just to show like all the police presence and how they sort of pen off. They use all these barricades all over Ben Franklin Parkway and all up by the art museum. So I wanted to walk around there and show it. Did that live stream, got back, everything was fine. And then I don't know if I turned off my phone and then tried to turn it back on again, but when I tried to turn it back on again, it would never get past um, that Motorola screen. It would never jump back into like, usually then it would go to T-Mobile and then my desktop would show up. So anyway, kept trying, and I changed, like I took the battery out, all kinds of things, took the SD card out, nothing. So anyway, in my mind, I knew that I would probably have to go to T-Mobile today. Also, and all of this comes together in some weird like pink light situation. Also, my bathroom has 4 fluorescent bulbs around a big gigantic mirror, which is the vanity above the sink, kind of. So over the past few weeks, a couple of those, it might be a couple months, 2 of those light sticks or fluorescent lights, like one on top and one on the side, or one on the top and one on the bottom, I can't remember, but they went out. And I just let it go because I was like, I don't feel like calling maintenance and having, they would have to come in, and I'll just let it go for a while. So finally, I guess maybe Friday or Saturday, a third fluorescent light stick went out around that big gigantic mirror that's a vanity. And those lights are basically still out, aside from I have a halo lamp up there, which I use for videos. That's in the door. So anyway, one light stick or fluorescent light bulb or what have you is still in there, and it's the one closest to the wall when you go in, and it's the vertical one on the short side of the mirror. So I sent off an email this morning to maintenance, and also I wanted to wait till after the holiday because I was like, I'm not going to bother them on Monday. I'll just wait till Wednesday. So emailed maintenance for Pearl Properties today and said, I have 3 light sticks out, or fluorescent bulbs that went out around my mirror. I finally have to call in, and I kind of need these new light bulbs, or I need these light sticks replaced. And they said, fine, we'll come tomorrow, Thursday. So they're saying they can come tomorrow, July 6th. Today is July 5th. And I already knew that I needed to get to T-Mobile at some point today. And I was hoping they could either reset my old phone, or maybe it needed a new battery, or I thought maybe they knew a trick to get it back on. But anyway, I had to get a new phone. But I go out for a dog walk, and I come back because I am borrowing a fan from my client. Because I was like trying to reduce my bills in general. And I was like, the AC comes on so much. Like it's a whole thing with adjusting the AC just right, and I don't want my bills to be out of the roof. And I was like, I wonder if I just use a fan during certain parts, like could I reduce the usage of the AC? So I brought the fan back here. I run into the bathroom really quick, and all of a sudden I realized the bottom light bulb, which had been out, seemed to be on, but it was a pink color. Like there was this glowing pink. And I was like, are you kidding? It's pink. And then it dawned on me like, oh, I'm going to T-Mobile where everything is like neon pink, their lights and everything. In fact, when you go there, they have like LED pink lighting behind their signage and all the ads and stuff like that they have behind the cashier or along the windows and stuff like that. So I was like, that's weird. And I was like, I couldn't grab my phone camera to take a picture. I was like, I totally want to take a picture because this is indicative of another layer of the 72,000 layer cake of things that I've experienced where it's like kind of weird. And if it goes too deeply into the brain, it can start to feel like, did someone come in here who knew that I was supposed to go to T-Mobile today? And could they actually screw in a new lamp while I was away walking a dog? And they would know that it would like glow pink before it warmed up to a white. I don't know much about fluorescent lights. Anyway, I couldn't take a picture with my phone. I have another Vivitar little cheap camera, but it's not charged up. And I was like, oh, if I could just like get a picture of it or take a video of it. But I just wasn't quick enough. It warmed up to a white light within like 5-10 minutes. So anyway, but it can feel like, okay, are the aliens communicating and they know I'm supposed to go to T-Mobile today? Or is it already written or pre-orchestrated by someone in the sky? And they wanted me to get rid of that old phone because technically I wound up with that phone in Gainesville, Florida. I still had my Philadelphia phone number, but I had issues with the phone from time to time, and I wondered if there was some sort of weird connection to Gainesville, Florida, and maybe someone in the sky was like, it's time to get rid of the phone that has any ties at all to Gainesville, Florida. So anyway, it starts, this is yet another thing that occurs where it can make someone feel like they're not in control of their life, or that someone very big out there is controlling my life. I don't know if it's happened to other people where it gets too weird, where you're like, are you kidding? There's a pink light. All my lights turned out except for the one on the side. And I go to a dog walk, come back, and it's re-illuminated with pink at the bottom just when I come back. Well, like pink, and then it warmed up, I guess, to I don't know, it morphed from pink to just the regular white light. So anyway, went off to T-Mobile. I got in there, and he tried to fix it, couldn't fix it. Then he had a hard time transferring the old information from one phone to the next. So he's like, can you come back after noon, after 12 o'clock noon, when my manager is here, and I have to override this, that, and the other in order to get the phone to work. So I had to leave and come back. But I just wanted to report on the pink light and how it can feel as if someone else pre-planned for Independence Day. So that's the other part. I want to bring up two things. Say you got pandemic assistance, which I did get a little bit because I had taught yoga. When I got back to Philadelphia, I couldn't teach yoga, even though I tried to see if there was any opportunity. But around here, they didn't really have a lot of yoga until much, much later. I was back here in May 26th. My lease started May 28th of 2021, and yoga studios weren't back to normal until 2022. So anyway, I was able to qualify for some pandemic assistance, and the pandemic assistance ended on Labor Day, which has to do with working unions, but it has to do with actual work, like labor. So I think that's interesting that money that's given to people who couldn't work their normal jobs because of the pandemic, the money ended on Labor Day. And this phone crashed on Independence Day. So the only thing I'm like, how weird is that? What if this is like code language for people? And in some way, there's a sense of independence of letting go of a phone that technically I purchased at a T-Mobile in Gainesville, Florida, across from where Lucky's used to be. If anyone knows Gainesville, Florida, it's just as you would go into the University of Florida area on Route 13. It's also Route 441, I think, and Martin Luther King. It has three names to that particular highway that runs north and south in Gainesville, Florida. And there's a Chipotle Chicken, a T-Mobile, and I think Mattress Firm is there. So in this little conglomeration of shops next to Goodwill. So like Goodwill is right behind it. I'm trying to think of the crossroad. I don't know if it's 8th Avenue or 8th, but anyway, it's been a while. So anyway, if anyone knows anything about people who speak code, or if you've ever had anything weird happen where you're like, that's odd that I would wind up with a pinkish illumination on a light that burned out and then seems to be re-illuminated. It's out again. So later in the day, I go to the bathroom and the light's completely out. So somehow it illuminated just before I would go to T-Mobile, and it appeared pink for, I guess, like 3-ish minutes. I don't really know because I turned it on. It took me a second to notice it. I tried to get a picture of it, and then it warmed up to a white light. So, okay, thank you so much and have a great day.